Stay up here.
Destroy you.
Right. What they do is they just grab at things. They grab at things until eventually they just kill a category. And why would you want to kill something that's growing so much right now?
Right.
Especially when you live in that category already. Yeah, you already live in that category.
Yeah. So this goes back to, I don't know if we talked about it here, but I've definitely had conversations with you probably in the past, but I feel like sometimes the wrong people get rich. You know what I mean? Like where there's this great progression, there's something great happening, but somebody gets like their feelings hurt, or they just want to not lose a piece of the market.
They get greedy.
They get too greedy, and they won't let this little piece of market go, so they'll just destroy it, essentially.
But to me, like that just shows how little they know about millennials too. Because millennials, they don't want a budget brand. Like they're looking for something, a more premium experience.
Quality.
Yeah. And we provide that.
Yep.
So why trade anybody down to something that's less than premium?
Yeah.
And there was a funny article talking about things that you read.
Yeah.
I remember, so at one point last year, a lot of fraternity guys at the University of Georgia were getting super PO'd because they wouldn't allow them, because certain activities that happen on college campuses said they can't have liquor on campus anymore. Mm-hmm. So because of that, they started buying a bunch of White Claw, right?
Yeah.
And then they're like, you guys got to change this law because we're running out of money. All the girls want is White Claw.
Right.
And, back in the day, they're buying 30 packs of Busch, Beast Light, King Cobra, like whatever it was.
I was Bushman. When I was 19.
Oh.
Yeah, man.
Bushman.
We had 30 packs. Well, this was in Snowshoe. So Snowshoe,
that's Bush country.
Every beer up there on that little mountain area was jacked up by probably 50%. You know what I mean? As far as the price goes. Yeah. So you just said, okay, I'll buy a 30-pack of Bush Light for, I don't know,
fucking
$25.
Way too much money.
It was insane because you're in a resort area. You're closed off from the rest of the world, and they're going
you have no choice.
They price gouge the shit out of you.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, so.
I mean, it was
they know that you have no choice.
You're more than welcome to go drive down that mountain and then also to the next town
35 minutes
45
to
minutes.
Yeah.
The closest town to that would be
Beckley. Beckley. Yeah, it's about 30 minutes. That's when I broke my arm. That's where I had to go.
Down the mountain.
There was a Taco Bell there.
Because you used to down the mountain.
Yeah.
Oh, Marlington. But that was not a town. That was like a Norman Rockwell, street.
Yeah.
It was like a Norman Rockwell street situation where I went to the Roadhouse and got my burgers and listened to a jukebox, just to get away from the mountain sometimes.
I want a White Claw snowboard. You're making me dream about snowboarding, and I'm
with the White Claw.
Dude,
that's what I'm saying.
Done and done.
Yeah.
Number 2.
Don't do it.
Done and done.
I snowboard. No,
Bobby, what are you doing in February?
I can tell you, there's 4 White Claw snowboards coming to this room right now. It's a done deal.
Can we do a trip? All right.
But just to date myself, because that reminded me of something, is that because going even back to at my time, I graduated from Longwood in 2004. Mm-hmm. At that time, we would have these huge field parties. But Longwood's all about field parties because we had to go out in the woods where no one could find us, so we could actually have a real deal party. And my fraternity, we went to the store and we went to Food Lion in Farmville, and we're like, sir, Farmville.
Shut up, Farmville.
Shut up to Farmville. And Lady Rage, the only other person that came out of Farmville. Rough and tough with their Afro puffs.
Damn, Farmville, man.
So we went, I think it was Food Lion, we were like, sir, we want 700 cases of Beast 30 packs. They're like, absolutely not unless you're going to pay us all up front. So we did. But back
300.
700 cases. Dude, oh my God. We had this, it was a pretty big party.
That's glorious.
But that goes to my point is that.
It's a pretty big party.
In 2000,
10 people meeting up in the woods.
Shout out AXP, Alpha Cairo, Longwood. You guys know who you are. My boy Larry Sanders, Phil Taylor. Thanks for filling the party. Back in those times, that just shows where progression's going is because all we cared about what was the cheapest.
Yes, absolutely.
And I feel like the college kids these days, it's not about what's the cheapest, it's what's the most prestigious.
Yes. And so I think, again, we go back to this point of I'm a tough ass dude. I can drink 12 fucking beers, man. You know what I mean? This idea that this tough guy man philosophy
the
bros that goes back to the 50, from fucking World War II up to
rolling cigarettes in your sleeve.
I'm the baddest motherfucker. I can drink more, but now it's that whole philosophy is slowly but surely, actually faster than I've ever seen. It's just evaporating. So it's I'm just gonna drink what I want, and I'm gonna drink as many as I feel like, and then I don't need to prove anything to you or you that I can drink more than anybody else. And then so like you said, if I'm only gonna drink 4 or 5 or 6, maybe I'm just gonna drink something I like, not something that's cheap that I'm trying to prove
Right.
something. Yeah.
And that's why, like, with our new innovation come out next year, so we have a brand called White Claw 70 that we had in a test market in New England. And we're looking for that drinker too, because there's a lot of people that, like, they want to drink, but they don't want to go crazy with it, right?
Yeah.
So what we did is we lowered our ABV to 3.9, we went down to 70 calories, and then we created 2 flavors that aren't going to be available in anything else. So we're going to have a pineapple and a clementine on those 2 flavors.
Ooh, pineapple.
Yes, and then what we did,
Clementine?
we're coming out with a new
like that.
variety pack, so it's going to introduce some new flavors. We're going to have and I can say this now because it's been released through some publications,
Right.
But we're going to have our mango will be available in a variety pack, along with a tangerine, a watermelon. And then we're going to be, since we're the original founders of lemonade, we're going to have a lemon. We're the first lemon seltzer that's out there, which I think is going to do very well. We're going to call that the variety pack number 2.
Okay.
We're also going to be coming out with White Claw Surge, which is our 7% single serve. It'll come out in a 16-ounce can, and that'll be in cranberry and blood orange. I'm super excited about those brands, especially up in college markets. I think they're absolutely going to kill it.
You say 7?
7%.
Okay.
So when you're talking about like the guys that are like, I'm Mr. Tough Guy, I drink 12 beers.
They're gonna be those
but
guys.
Remember, but those guys were only drinking 3.2s.
Tall boys, 7%,
Exactly.
bro.
Thank you, right?
I was like,
Yeah.
watch, every single beer pong table will be
Bro, you
stocked with,
You
with
got that
fucking
surge.
White Claw.
You got the White Claw Surge, bro. I don't even want to touch a Bud Light. Pussy beer.
That's
Hey,
what I mean.
I'm putting it down right now. That's gonna happen.
Oh, dude, I'm
Watch.
telling you.
platinum was?
Because and that's the thing is that everybody
was, yeah.
thinks
You got
that
platinum.
things are so like big and so tough. But even all those guys that drink all those beers, normal beers are what, like 3.5 to like 4.2?
4.2.
Yeah.
People think people are like soft for drinking these. They're 5%.
No,
bro.
these are
Right,
these are hitters.
right.
They're
These
just
are hitters,
They're just
like
under
you
the
said.
IPA.
Yeah.
And that's
IPAs
where
are
you
generally
beat
about
out
6, 6.5.
Truly.
Yep.
You beat out freaking Bold Rock because they're all like. I had to try the Bold Rock.
It's fine.
It's
I
like-
did too.
but it's like 3.8.
Right.
It's like,
And
it's not 5.
Is it really?
And they,
Yeah, it's
but they
low.
also
Yeah.
brew different than us because they're a cider company. So they're kinda,
Yeah.
I think they use like an apple base, and
Yeah,
it almost
yeah.
has like a sour taste. I
It
don't-
does. It does.
It does.
No, 100%.
The
it does.
flavor profile is not good.
I'll say this:
Yeah.
it's different.
Sorry.
It's different.
It's a different product altogether.
Right.
You know what I mean? So, but at the end of the day, I think I think they're going to do great with their cider.
Yeah.
Forever.
Oh, yeah, I
Do you know
love
what mean?
Bold Rock. Yeah,
And
absolutely.
This is just a little side project that they have to jump into this market, but I don't think that by any means they're going to go like, we're taking on Michael. You know what I mean? Like it's just
Yeah.
like we just have a little thing just
Yeah,
to keep our
Stick what you know.
our people that like our stuff. They can try our thing.
You know what?
Yeah.
Also, though, I feel like we've definitely dealt with this before. When you've got ownership or presidents or whoever makes the calls the shots
Yeah,
for
yeah.
your
End of the
brand,
day,
for your
yeah.
life, for whatever it may be, for
Yeah.
the place that you work.
Yeah.
They're like, you know what? I want to try this.
Yeah.
Make it happen.
Right.
And then they just do it. So I'm sure that, you know, just like I'm sure that there's somebody somewhere, you know, one of the ciderers or brewers that are at Bold Rock that were like, that's a dumbass idea. We should not.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We should not
Drop
do this.
it,
Don't
just
do it.
drop it.
And
their
then
opinion
one
just
fucking
went-
owner's like, look, I write your check, make it happen.
Yeah. And so with that, this is just an opinion piece right now, but
Perfectly opinion piece.
this is totally an opinion piece. But kind of the things that we were talking about, I was talking about last night. You know, Nikki and Meredith had gone to the store to get some White Claws.
They're very opinionated.
And then they were out because of the situation. But they got Frescas, which are these Corona things, and supposedly and then like you said, they look like what's supposed to be a hard seltzer, but really it's just like a sugar drink that looks like a seltzer. Mm-hmm. It just wasn't that good, and it's like just do what you're doing. You guys are doing great with the Corona thing, man. Just let it go.
Just
leave
do your thing.
leave it alone,
do
man.
your thing.
Just
Like,
do
just
you.
be. I think what we can appreciate coming in like the age range of where we are, because I'm 30. I think I'm the youngest dude in here currently. Even though I don't sound like it.
You don't got to brag about it.
I know, right? I was like, fuck it.
But my
I
point is
know.
that like, you know, there's so many places out there that want to ride the dicks of all of these other things that are doing well, and I get it. You know, there's some things that you can take that you can kind of manipulate and kind of change into your your space and make it work for you. But then there are other things that like are very specific to that space.
Yeah.
And if you're not going to dive 100% into it, then I and you and anybody else that's going to go and buy that shit, you know what I'm saying? They also know that you're not really like just kind of like Natty Light. They're trying to do this seltzer shit. No one's going to fucking buy it.
Well, because no one buys their beer.
No one one gives a fuck.
But the blue collar people that do buy the beer are offended by this whole situation.
100%.
Right.
You know
Like you're
it's a blue collar beer, man. It's like hey man,
don't fuck up my
I work
Natty
all
Light.
day, you know, I work hard. I come home with my Natty Light.
I want to see this pink ass shit.
And now you're giving me some
I want
sort of
Natty
pink
Light.
lemonade.
I want red, white, and blue, baby.
Yeah.
I just love how this whole seltzer movement has changed the whole idea of like, okay, I don't have to get a Mick Ultra.
right.
If I'm trying to watch my calories,
And Mick
the
Ultra's
carbs.
hot.
And
It's
Mick
super
Ultra
hot.
is
It's
hot.
so hot. It's killing it.
Especially in
I'm
this
not-
town. Like there are so many hashtag what up Cougars.
I couldn't
that
get
just
Mick
drink
Ultra
it.
last week.
Yeah.
I'm not lying to you.
But I love that you
you're
have
out?
that option now. Like growing up, we didn't have that option. Like when
No.
we were in college, like it wasn't like, oh, I if I want a light beer, I got to go Mick Ultra or Bud Light. No,
I would say in my fraternity, if you want a
You
light
had
beer,
to.
you're getting Beast Light, girl. That's what you're getting. It's what it is. I'm not going to buy no Mick Ultra for you. Because that's what I'm talking about. Like the frame of minds back then was, it's as cheap as possible.
Yeah.
Right,
We're not
right,
going to
right.
be like looking to buy premium and buy the girls really what they want, you know?
Yep.
And now things are, it's just like younger kids, they don't care. They want the best of the best.
Yeah.
Right. And you hit all the marks.
It's-
you know,
it's-
you
it's
got
a whole
high
change of
alcohol
culture, yep.
With low calories, low carbs, fucking gluten free, everything.
So
It's perfect.
And then I sort of bring this part up again. And then I think Austin, I love his honesty. You know,
Very much
when he was
so.
on the show.
Yeah.
From the
But,
grain.
and then even from the
Yeah,
grain,
yeah,
yes,
yeah.
from grain.
Shout out Grain Norfolk.
And
Shout
Austin,
out.
You guys.
yeah, awesome dude.
Good
You're
people.
still listening. I miss you guys.
But when we were talking about previously to walking into the studio or stepping in here on the microphones, you know, I even says like, well, it's good for me because like, you know, the calories,
Real
calories,
shit.
you know
It's
what I mean?
real
And
shit.
like,
Yeah.
and he's like,
dude.
he's like, that's an afterthought, Evan. Let's be real. You like the way it tastes, and you drinking it, and then you get the bonus of saying like,
It makes me feel pretty.
I feel good.
Yeah.
But really, that wasn't my first thought when I walked into it. You know what I mean?
but
Like,
you're like,
it was
it's
like it's refreshing and I like it. It's cold.
I mean,
It's
you
good.
have
Good.
four
And then
IPAs. How
and
you
then I
feel?
get to say afterwards like
going to
oh,
sleep.
also though, you know, because like I don't do that with my IPA and go like,
But that's a great point that you brought up
Yeah.
Austin because Austin was a tough nut to crack about this whole category too.
Yeah.
Like
Austin, Texas?
No, Austin from the grain.
Oh, okay. Wow. Fuck me.
Yeah, sorry. No, because
I was like, what?
my local distributor is like, White Claw's where it's at. You need to do it. And he was like, all right. And I think he talked about it in your show. He's like,
Yeah.
hey, we did a great White Claw event. I brought in ice cold. When I do something, I try to go all out because
Right.
I want it to be a premium experience, just like
Yeah,
our
yeah,
brand.
yeah.
And so
Yes.
I brought in
Always.
Yep.
Yes.
And
Snowboarding.
Yep. And literally, like we had a great night that night. Everybody loved it. It stayed on the menu, still on the menu, still
Yep.
doing very, very well.
Yeah.
And I just think that's where it's going to go. There's the like most serious like form of flattery is imitation, right? So I
Yep.
think that there's going to be a lot of people that come in. The more people that come in for us is the better because that's just going to prove that making what we do and doing
Yeah.
what we do isn't as easy as people think it is.
Right.
And then, like I said, that's going to be some of the, like the barrier to get into this is that. In order to do it right, you got to know what you're doing.
Yeah.
You can't just
Oh,
throw
yeah.
labels on it. You're going
Right.
to see tons of stuff next year. Like if I'm able to come back, we're going to talk about it and be like, wow, this is nuts. There's now 400
Yeah.
seltzer brands.
Yep. And that's the crazy thing. It's like, you know, it's that FOMO and it goes to the whole situation of saying like, okay, the market's going to work and this, that. But last thing I'll say is like, I have walked through the Target and I've seen the seltzer machines. You know what I'm talking about?
What? There's a seltzer machine?
Yeah, you can like make your own soda. And I was like, I could just make my own like seltzer with like vodka and stuff like that.
Right.
And sell it on the streets. You know what I mean? But not seriously. But like I've seen those things. I'm like, is that how they make seltzer? But you know, knowing now that you guys do,
Yeah, it's
there's
very,
there's
very
whole
complicated.
There's a
Yeah,
whole
it's
process.
very
Yeah,
complicated.
so
I'm
That's what, I meant to bring that process
Right.
up earlier. I was like,
It's not like you
this
just
all-
buy.
is this
Yeah,
not like a really big
you're not just
one?
buying like a
Yeah.
little,
You know what I
like a
mean?
can of Lacroix,
Yeah,
throw a little bit of vodka,
yeah,
some
yeah.
couple berries, and call it a day. Yeah, it's not how it works.
Seal it up. Here we
Yeah.
go.
Honestly,
You know
before
what I mean?
this interview,
This is
I'm
the whole
like,
thing.
all right,
Yeah.
how do they make
Right.
it? Because like
Yeah.
a lot of people kind of refer
It's
it
really-
to
it's
a
brewed.
vodka soda.
It's
Right.
actually
A lot of
brewed-
people say that.
brewed
And I'm
and
looking it
clarified.
up and I'm like,
Yes.
what kind of liquor do
Yeah.
you
Yep.
use? And it's like a malt blend.
Yeah.
And I'm like, All right.
Yeah.
He doesn't have to tell us the ingredients, but
And I don't know it because, like, literally, so we have these black boxes
patented.
across the country.
Patented.
right, exactly.
No one knows it.
That's like the recipe to Coca-Cola.
There's 2
You
or
will
3
never
people that
fucking
have
get
like
it.
this card that can slide and get in there. Like I have no idea how it's actually done.
Right.
I kind of have like a base knowledge, a neutral base knowledge, if you will. But that's
Probably
it.
more security than the president.
I like what you did there. I like what you did there. He did the neutral base knowledge. You know, it's the neutral brain, guys. Anybody?
I caught it.
You got me. Thank you.
I caught it.
Guys, now that we reached the end of the show,
Man,
thanks
it's a
for
fast
checking
hour.
in. I know it. Actually, it was a little bit more than that.
Oh, that's not
If you're
bad.
still listening,
Time
in,
flies
it
when you're
does.
drinking fucking White Claw.
Time flies. Like, can we
Wait,
go on
how
something
can
quick?
we rhyme that? Yeah, exactly.
Hold on. White Claw, fuck yeah.
I will tell you.